Hi, I'm Casey.
And I'm Gianni.
I never finished reading the Animorphs books as a kid, and I still haven't as an adult.
And I've never read them.
We can't tell you where we live.
But we can tell you that we want to revisit these books as adults and dive into what we would keep or change if we were to put it on TV.
Two friends, 50-something books. Welcome to Morphin Buddies.
Sure. I mean, you can cream me anytime. Yeah, I love getting creamed, cream pied, cream... Yeah, they call me Big Cream in these streets. I don't know if you've heard that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of Morphin Buddies with me, your host, Casey Cisnowski, and Mr. Gianni DeMaia opening up a brand new Snapple, some ASMR for you folks.
That's what you get. I hope
get.
everybody liked that. Because there's a lot more of that came from this podcast, you know what I mean?
Heck yeah,
I
dude.
only do this podcast to have my weekly Snapple intake, you know?
Your weekly Snapple intake, and I just drink water, because...
I do that too, but...
Why would you need anything else?
I
love my water.
I do that too, but have you ever had the joys of a Snapple?
I don't really like tea. I think we've talked about this before. I have a problem with tea.
Yeah, we've talked about how you're a little freaky freak before. I can't remember what you
It's
said last
texture...
podcast that was really freaky. Oh, you dabbed the pizza. That was psychotic.
That's not psychotic. People
Yeah.
do that.
Nah, you need...
Just you wait. Just you people that dab your pizza.
Nah.
Reach out to us. Let us know. I can't be the only one.
Nope.
There's no way.
Find
No.
Jesus. You know what I mean?
There's more people out there that do that. Christina,
I agree.
Bullet Journal,
I agree.
not just about Jimmy because he's a freak, but
No,
perhaps Ryan.
I'm sure that those people...
Seropedia?
I'm sure that there's people out there who do that, but I think that they're also freaks. And I think that just...
They're all good people.
It helps my point, you know? Just like, you're all serial killers in my head. Or about to be, you know?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You know what I mean? Because,
Wouldn't you like to know?
You know how it's like you see warning signs for serial killers? It's like,
Yeah, but I don't think this is a warning sign.
Like, oh, lack of empathy. Oh, maybe they do something to animals when they're young. You know.
Oh, no. I would
things.
pet them. I pet
Right.
animals when I was young.
I'm just saying examples of warning signs. It's not like every serial killer has all of these things. It's just that there's a lot of examples of warning signs.
Wait,
I think that they should add to the list people that dab pizza, because that's probably...
I don't think so.
That's probably on there.
No.
Did the Mindhunter guys try that? Did they ask those guys that? I bet they didn't.
I don't know. I didn't see it. Who knows?
I don't know. We should contact them. The FBI, if you're listening to this podcast,
if you know,
work
you
for
know.
The FBI, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Psycho.
But also don't, because they would agree with me that, yes, you need to dab your pizza.
They would agree with you that you're a serial killer? For sure.
No, that you should dab your pizza. That's what everyone tells me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Mr. Gianni DeMaia, we do not have any new emails. I have not heard back from Seropedia yet, but it's probably because that episode's being released tomorrow.
Oh, well, that
for
would
his
explain
award,
why.
her award, their award. Seropedia, you're a mystery to us all.
Insert here. You know what I mean? You've won an award.
Yeah.
and
Congratulations.
We don't even have a clue as to anything about
you. But we love you.
Yeah.
And that we know for sure.
Great.
You're so
Just
great.
Stunning. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful
Wonderful.
mind. Yeah.
And that goes for the rest of our listeners, too. We love you guys also.
No, not all of you. You know who you are.
Jimmy? Little freaks sending us Slamilton and Andaboobs. Get out of here. But also don't. We love you. All right, so we're gonna open up with book 42, The Journey, where Rachel's turning into an elephant on the cover, which I think you said is your favorite cover thus far.
It was truly shocking and a sight to behold. It was the truly a gift from our artist. Is it David Mattingly? Is that right?
Yes.
I'll
yeah,
go to
I think that's his
Seropedia
name.
and find out, but I think that's what it is. Yeah, David Mattingly. Yeah,
Love
truly
him.
a gift.
Love it.
What a joy! What a joy it was to look at that cover. And I wish I could go back for the first time and experience the cover again.
Oh, so good. So good.
Scarring, yeah. The journey is certainly a journey. I don't know if it's a hot take. I quite liked this book.
I kind of liked it too. Like,
it's kind of great.
I don't know if it's as good as the reaction, but it is as ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not as good as the reaction, honestly, because the premise is so ridiculous and they do so many ridiculous things within it, but then it always feels like, okay, let's keep this on rails because it's got to be like a science textbook as well. Like, it kind of reads half of like an adventure Animorphs book and half of like a... They even reference Magic School Bus in it, so I don't think it's like shocking to say, but it's like a Magic School Bus episode. Which is not a bad thing. I think that it's quite fun. It's quite entertaining. The like dramatic things that happen here are very much glossed over, and I think it's kind of missing an emotional weight to it. I think there's probably some balance we could have found, particularly because there is a specific like dramatic thing that happens or is assumed to have happened at the end.
Yes,
that. Everybody just kind of is like, well, I guess that's what it is, you know? And I'm like, that's kind of crazy.
Wait a minute.
To just sort of...
Yeah.
Just sort of assume that they wouldn't have any thoughts or opinions about it beyond that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I look, is the book going to be super consequential to the end game of the series? Probably not. Is you know, the anatomy or biology assessment within the book 100% accurate?
No.
Probably not. You know, but ultimately, it's a fun time.
It's
very
a fun
fun.
time.
It's very entertaining. It has a really ridiculous premise. Obviously, I seem to have an affinity for those types of premises within my Animorphs books. The ones that I really gravitate to are either on the spectrum of, you know, the really, really harsh ones or the really, really goofy, zany ones. This is obviously on the goofy, zanier side, and they lean full Monty into it for the most part, so obviously I appreciate that. I think, this kind of felt like a good refresher, especially after the last book that we had read was pretty dramatic, intense. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's
fun.
It's not going to blow anybody's mind, but I think that this book is more of what I expected from the series as a whole, as opposed to some of the other stuff that we've gotten, particularly in the last, 10, 15 books or so.
Yeah.
And if this was more of the series, then I think I would really like that. I would be very pro that.
Yeah.
This is very much my shit.
Yeah.
It might not be everybody's shit, but this is very much my shit.
It does feel
that's my spiel.
It does feel like a fully fledged idea, and it's like kind of just go wild with this idea and try to be scientifically accurate, but you don't have to. Just get a general outline of what is scientifically accurate.
Yeah.
And
also, they made the Helmacrons actually funny.
Yeah, they did. Actually,
they're not, every time they talked, I was like, "Yay, more!" It was very fun. It wasn't.
Oh my god!
It wasn't just them having because the first Helmacrons book, I haven't written down what it was called, but bear with me a moment. I think it was The Suspicion. Is that right?
I think that might be right.
But anyway, the first Helmacrons appearance, it was a one-note joke. The only joke that they had the whole time was
angry yelling,
little alien with little voice. And that was all they had. Yeah. And then the protagonist being like, "Look at these twerps," and then the Helmacrons do something like shrink them, and they're like, "What? Whoa! Oh my goodness! We've completely underestimated you." But it felt like such an inconsequential thing. The Helmacrons have a good plan. It's crazy, and then every time they talk to the Helmacrons, they're actually hilarious. Their interactions. First of all, they're having a civil war with each other that's all based and rooted in sexism, which I think is hilarious.
Well, because that's how the other book ended.
And I was like, yes, more of this. And then every time they were trying to make a deal with the Helmacrons, they'd be like, "No, puny Earth!" It's like you about us, little alien scum.
Fool us. Yeah.
They all talk like medieval knights, which I think is hilarious too. I don't know. They were it felt like this just should have been the only appearance of the Helmacrons, and I'm shocked that they were actually able to make the Helmacrons fun.
Yeah.
And all it
I'm
took
glad
was them going into somebody's nose.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really glad they carried that plot line over where the last book with the Helmacrons ended in them destroying feminism
Yeah.
and the matriarchy, and now they're still warring with each other. That's such a fun thing to bring into the Helmacrons when they're so one note. This gives it an added dimension that is just, it's more fun to read, and it's more fun to see this interaction with all of them where they kind of start working together, but then immediately when they're done with that, they start arguing with each other.
They just start bickering.
Which is so
yeah,
fun.
Rachel even remarks at one point that she's like, I was half hopeful for a second that they were just going to kill each other. It kind of seemed like that. But yeah, I think that if there's a complaint to be had, like within the book itself, the resolution is like very, nothing.
Yeah.
I also there's a final reveal in the last chapter that I was like, hey, didn't need that, but
Yeah,
I appreciate you, I guess, but didn't need that. Didn't need it. Honestly, didn't even need Marco as a POV character throughout the book either. I think that
no, not really.
in and of itself kind of stunted a lot of the momentum of the book at times.
Yeah.
And then when it was doing something different, it was literally just to craft the circumstances through which we would then learn how the other people got out of Marco.
Yeah.
Effectively. But honestly, it just made it like a little bit more confusing at times. I think that there was the whole thing of they were shrunken too small to be able to hear or speak to Marco, but then sometimes they could. That was very confusing and lost on me.
They could through thought speech, but they couldn't through speaking.
Right, but then Marco would then talk to them on the outside.
Couldn't hear it. Yeah.
No, but they could hear it sometimes. Like when they were in his stomach and he was talking directly to them, and Rachel catalogs what he says, and I was like, now I think we maybe glossed over the edit on that because that wasn't supposed to be there. Like there's little inconsistencies like that. But it's fine. I think
it's
that really the thing that I'm most upset about is just that the Helmacrons are like so obsessive and unrelenting the whole book about not bending and not making a deal and not allowing any quarter for the Animorphs. And then at the end, once they're like thwarted once,
they're like, okay,
they just get written completely out of the book. And I guess that they just go off on their separate ways. I mean, I don't know why they would just let them go, because they talk about the whole book how they're not even sure that the Helmacrons won't just immediately go tell the Yeerks about them and everything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why they're just completely unworried about that at the end of the book, just because the book needs to be ended. So there's like a lot of things like that I just think don't make any sense. But is it an entertaining read? Yes. Yeah. So, do with that what you will. It's not, it's not going to blow anybody's mind, but I think that it was, it certainly wasn't boring.
Yeah, definitely. There was a point in the book where I got viscerally uncomfortable after they left the stomach and went to the blood veins, because I don't like body insides. I believe your body's insides are inside for a reason. They're gross. And I just like, what's the word? The people that can see colors when they listen to music, synesthesia? Is that what that's called? So I have the version where I can feel what something feels like in my body when someone describes something happening to their body. It's like a super minuscule, rare thing.
That's synesthesia as well, because I feel like I have that.
It's like I can. I don't know what it's some type of like. I don't know. I can feel it in my body, and it like gives me like an actual reaction where I get very uncomfortable.
Yeah. So if I'm like, I got shot with a gun right here, like you feel like you could feel that.
Yeah, and it's really strange. I don't know if this is like super common with other people or not, but like it's just like a sensitivity I feel like I've always had. So when they were describing the stuff like in the blood veins and stuff, I was like, getting like shifty at my desk, just like
You're getting the heebie-jeebies.
I was getting the heebie-jeebs.
Croak. Like, they open a blood vessel in order to get in there, and I was like,
yeah.
oh, he's goner. He's
Oh,
got
God.
internal bleeding
Yeah, that's
now.
what I thought too. But I guess because they're so teeny tiny, it's okay?
Sure.
Question mark.
Sure.
So
Who cares? You know
Yeah,
what I
who
mean? They're
cares?
sharks. They're sharks swimming through your veins. That's fun.
yeah, exactly. They're just swimming through, you know.
But that's another reason why I think it was a mistake to cut back to Marco when they did, because I kept thinking, I can't wait for like it to cut back to Marco, and I thought the whole time that they were gonna just have one chapter that was just gonna be like Marco. And then cut right back. Like,
Yeah.
I was waiting for that joke, never came.
Yeah.
But I think that the real missed opportunity is just Marco not really identifying anything happening in his body. You can't feel any of this stuff. And I was like, nah, I mean, if you have literal sharks going through your blood veins, like, it would be cool to have him like look down at his arm or something and see like there's this like bubbling surface that's happening like up the corner of his arm.
That would be
I think
super
that's kind of
cool.
interesting. But they never really take advantage of that moment. Instead, they give him rabies, which I was like, "That's a
Spoiler
great-
alert, Gianni.
I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with that.
That was crazy.
I was like,
That
sure.
was- yeah, when they were mentioning Marco getting grumpy, and I was like, who cares? He's a teenage boy.
Yeah, he's allowed to be grumpy. There's things inside of him. I was like, yeah, I would be grumpy
Yeah,
too.
be
I thought that's what
stressed
they
as
were
heck.
going for.
Anyway,
And then they were like, his dad was like, you got a fever. I was like, yeah, no shit, dude. He's got aliens in his blood
Yeah,
vessels.
exactly.
Like, he's lucky if fever's all he's
Yeah.
got. And then they were like, no, actually, he has rabies. I was like, okay,
wild reveal,
sure.
crazy.
Okay,
Uh,
I guess.
Yeah, let's get into the details of this book, since I definitely want to talk about this dumb rabies thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was
yeah.
just such a bizarre choice. But yeah, so I mean, okay, the beginning of the book, it starts out, we're in the middle of the action, there's some sort of like crazy
Attacking a
scene
Dunkin'
where they're
Donuts.
kicking ass and taking names in the Dunkin' Donuts or whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
They sneak out into the alleyway. When they do, there's a flash and a picture gets taken of them as they're deep morphing. They all panic, and rather than immediately going and catching the cameraman, they're like, "Let's go home and regroup first and
Which
decide
is
what we want
like,
to do about
and
it."
then they decide, oh, let's watch
Crazy.
him. Go after
Yeah,
him.
why?
What are you
Go
doing?
grab the camera, smash it on the ground. What
Tobias
do you mean?
sees
I'm a
him.
bear. What are they
Yeah,
gonna
Tobias knows where this kid is and where he's going. Like, he can see him. Go.
I think what's more frustrating about this plot is that it goes nowhere. It's just a thing
Yeah.
to set up another thing.
It's just a thing to give
and I was
Marco
like,
something
why?
to do later on.
Yeah, which is silly. Give Marco nothing to do because if you're already cutting back to him anyway, just have him looking at his body and be like, "What the fuck is
Yeah.
going on?" We don't need this whole cameraman side plot. There's more frustrating things with this cameraman side plot, but I'll wait till
Yeah.
we get there in the plot. But suffice it to say, that B plot is like so unnecessary
Yeah.
that I was like, I don't even know why we're pretending that this is a thing. Anyway. They're discussing what to do about this whole thing, and lo and behold, guess who shows up? The fucking
Which,
Helmacrons.
can I say, this was the best entrance of a character in any of the Animorphs book thus far. Because the Helmacron ship comes in, it doesn't fly in, it's sitting in the driver's seat of a Barbie 4x4 car.
Which
and
rocks.
it just zips right.
They're like,
It
why
just
is this
zips
car
right in.
coming through the barn? And it's going
very-
right for... sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it's giving very get in loser, we're going shopping vibes.
It was, yeah, so comical. Yeah, so off the bat, now we're off to the races.
Hell
So the
yeah, dude, let's go.
They figure out immediately it's the Helmacrons. They're like trying to get them. They're trying to whap them with a stick. They realize that the Helmacrons are going after this freezer. And Cassie then later reveals that she had hidden the
Morphing
blue
cube.
box, the morphing cube, in the freezer. I think they had mentioned this before. I can't remember what book, but I guess whatever the last one is that they mentioned the morphing cube. But Cassie no longer tells anybody where she hides it as a means of safety precaution. But I guess the Helmacrons had already figured out where it was. Now, if they had already figured out where it was, I know what you're thinking. Why would they wait until the Animorphs are back home to then go after it?
Yeah.
And the answer to your question is, okay, so moving on. Because Because the Helmacrons have a great plan here. Everything's all set up and ready to go. And instead they're like, no. We'll wait until the Animorphs are back before we go after this blue
They had
cube."
to get the car.
What do you mean?
They had to get
You
the
did
car.
all of this reconnaissance to figure out where it is, and then you wait? Why?
They had to get the car. Get the Barbie
Ridiculous.
4x4 driving in.
Literally, no, you don't. That's crazy. But so anyway, they're going after him. Marco and Rachel are like trying to whap it with like a stick, and
She
Rachel,
elbows him.
Yeah, accidentally elbows Marco in the head. He falls, gets a concussion.
He's concussed for sure.
Marco's just brutally beaten and badgered this whole book. This poor guy. He falls, knocks himself out on the corner of this freezer, and then they're trying to wake him up. They're like, "Where'd the Helmacrons go?" Tobias sees them go up Marco's nose. Because they had apparently got out of their ship and go up his nose.
Which,
so they're like,
being how
"Well, fuck,
small
how do we
they
get him
are,
out?"
like, how close was the ship to Marco? Like, to get in there that quick within
I don't even
seconds?
know, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
either way.
it's great. It's great.
In my headcanon, they land on his chest. And then they're like, "Well, we can't get them." They're like batting at Marco's chest trying to kill these Helmacrons.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I want to do it.
I like
But
it.
so then the Helmacrons go up his nose. They're like, "Okay, we got to figure out a plan to get out of there." Axe starts tinkering with their ship because he feels like he can make the shrinking ray work on them so that they can shrink enough to go inside and chase the Helmacrons up the nose. It's established that there's like 12 Helmacrons up there. And the only reason I say that's established is because I lost track of the count of Helmacrons that were left almost immediately, and I think so did the author, which is fine. Like, it doesn't really matter.
They stopped counting at some point.
Yeah, like there's just like a certain point where she's like, "I don't even know what happened to like 4 of them," but like there's like 3 of them left or whatever it is. So then they shrink themselves down. They realize very quickly that they've shrunken themselves way too small, because if we remember the last time that they were accidentally shrunk by force from the Helmacron ship, they were still able to hear. And so something has obviously gone wrong, because now they're too small to actually hear what Marco's saying. So they have this whole trial and error period where they're about to get eaten by a beetle. Marco narrowly realizes in time where they are, throws the beetle away, grabs a piece of hay from the barn, puts them all on the piece of hay, and then sticks the piece of hay up his nose. Then the thought speech comes through to him, like, "You can remove the hay now," and he removes it.
Yeah, because Axe is the only one that can communicate with Marco, because the others aren't in morph. Yeah,
which also does, like, they can morph now inside the nose, I guess. But here, this is maybe a question for our biochemist friend, but if we're to assume that the morphing automatically like resets to whatever the DNA is of when you first got the morph, would it not then be safe to assume that if they morphed inside the nose, they would become the size of the animal?
That's a great thought, and I was wondering the same thing myself too. I'm like, wait, is it because their mass is small now, the morph mass also changes, or would it make more sense to be regular size? And that's just a risk that they're going to have to take, Gianni.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think that it's actually maybe more interesting if they can't morph inside the nose because of something like that, because then they're exposing themselves to different levels of hazard within Marco's body if they're not able to morph. But maybe that's just me. I would also say that to comment on my earlier point about it being inconsistent with whether or not they can hear Marco and Marco can hear them, I understand that when they morph inside of Marco's body, that then they have the thought speech. But it also raises questions of why you would be able to have thought speech when you are something with a mouth and vocal cords.
Yeah.
And I had never thought about that before until this book. And then also, secondarily, like, it still doesn't make much sense that they can now hear Marco if they're still super small. Especially if they're smaller as, like, because they turn into a bat. They turn into all kinds of different animals inside of his body. and they can hear him sometimes and sometimes can't. I just think it's really inconsistent. Anyway, going back to
agreed
where we are in the plot. So the Helmacrons very swiftly get stuck in some mucus and start arguing with each other.
Gross.
The Andalites start making their presence known. Sorry, not the Andalite bandits. The Animorphs.
The Animorphs.
Start making their presence known. And Helmacrons just start blasting. They're like,
Pew, pew,
like,
pew,
whoa,
pew, yeah.
like, we'll take down your giant human. And they're like, whoa, like maybe we can work something out.
They're like,
Axe
never.
Axe at some point suggests that they should just lie to them. That they should just tell them that they're gonna give them because they want the cube so that they can power their ship and get out of here. Axe is like, we should just tell them we're doing it, and they're and then not. And they're like, wow, if Axe is suggesting subterfuge, something has gone horribly wrong. Then Marco starts to sneeze. One of the Helmacrons gets blown right out of the nose.
Goodbye.
We never talk about that guy again. Who knows
No, he's gone.
if he's okay or not.
He's gone.
But so they all have to like get into the mucus in order to not get blown
stick.
out of his nose
Gross.
and sinuses. Obviously, fights ensue.
Yeah.
Rachel morphs into an elephant at some point, but then like ends up falling down through the sinus, like nasal passage, and goes down Marco's esophagus.
Yeah.
At some point in here, it starts cutting back to Marco.
Yeah.
And Marco, not really acknowledging that anything's happening in his body. He's just like, well, I hope they're okay.
I'm gonna go steal this camera that this boy had.
He goes to go address the B plot, which has become very inconsequential now.
Yeah.
They talk about how they had the Chi also watching this guy's house, but then Marco kind of is like inner monologuing, and he's like, maybe I should just ask the Chi to like give me a hologram so I could just sneak in and then grab the camera and leave. Which is a great idea. And he's like, nah, but that probably would break their code of ethics or whatever. Which no, it wouldn't unless you kill the kid. But like, what do you like? You're not doing that. So that sounds like a great plan. But so he doesn't do that. He just goes to the house.
And he's just like, a burglar's easy, right? People steal stuff all the time. And
this has got to be a blast. He like climbs up some fire escape or something, goes inside. Immediately a dog bites him on the arm. He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. He goes home.
Yeah, he actually has to hit the dog with a bat, which I was like...
Didn't love that.
I was like, don't, Ghost Rider, don't you put this in the book. And the Ghost Rider describes Marco as gently hitting the dog on his haunches. So it's just like his shoulder blades or like his back legs just tapping him to get his attention away from Marco to get him to let go. And I was like, I mean, I don't support that, but that's probably the best way you could have written that.
I guess, but it was just strange. And then he just goes home and doesn't get the camera.
Yeah, the dog doesn't keep attacking him either, which I'm like, a dog.
Yeah, the dog just like, well, you learned your lesson, pal. I certainly don't have rabies.
I'm out of here.
By the way, if a dog is aggressive enough to have rabies and bite somebody,
you're gonna see foam.
You're probably gonna see some other symptoms that might be like alarming that they don't address.
Yep.
Anyway, he goes home. Meanwhile, in hell,
oh god,
the other animorphs go down the esophagus and find themselves in the bowels of Marco, getting slowly digested and burned.
Which, like,
they morph into bats so that they could see in the dark.
But Rachel is stuck in the stomach acid because she was an elephant. She almost forgot again that elephants can swim, which I don't know why this girl,
dumb as hell.
This girl, she's so dumb, but we love her.
She dumb as hell.
But like,
and so then they morph into like flying animals so that they don't have to be there. Then somehow the Helmacrons also found their way down to the stomach, so they start blasting. They start just shooting at them.
But like, your stomach acid is so strong, it's gonna destroy everything in it. Like, you're not gonna survive once you hit it. Your body's melted off. You're dead. Like, it's so acidic.
Apparently not, because she then demorphs, becomes herself.
It
then
doesn't make
morphs
any sense.
Again. Then also, Cassie decides to morph into a big humpback whale because the skin is thicker and it won't melt in the acid, I guess.
Not true. People eat whale all the time. That shit gets melted real quick.
I mean, it's a fish is a fish, and I've eaten many a fish, so
Not a fish, it's a mammal.
Yeah, no, fish is a fish.
Now
as
it's a
we've already
mammal.
discussed many times, fish is a fish. But
So
then
yeah,
become
then they go,
birds.
yeah, and
They're trying to find the Helmacrons. They find them over by a blood vessel. They're like, well, the Helmacrons are going to be stupid. They're going to drown immediately.
It's so funny. The Helmacrons are like, off we go, toodaloo, and then they just jump into the bloodstream, and everyone's like, you might die in there, and they're like, goodbye.
And they're like, well, if they're brave enough to do that, then maybe we're wrong about the anatomy of Helmacrons. Also, forgot to mention, but the reason that they were shrunken to a smaller size is apparently the Helmacrons were so smart about this plan that they had already pre-rigged the shrinking ray to make sure that they were smaller than them.
Yep.
So then the Helmacrons are like now big, I guess, bigger
compared to them.
Inside, or relative to these other guys. So then they're like, okay, maybe we're making the wrong assumptions about Helmacrons. Maybe they have like special lungs. They can navigate bloodstreams or something like that.
Yeah. They're like, so let's go shark so we can swim through the bloodstream and
great idea,
hopefully breathe.
Which probably doesn't make any sense, but
it stresses me out. My worst fear in life is suffocating, and I just, oh my god, no, thank you. This is claustrophobia and suffocation, like smushed together.
It probably makes no sense that this works, but it does.
Yeah,
for all intents and purposes.
Somehow it works.
They start swimming past a whole bunch of blood platelets. Rachel even remarks to herself like, there's this white one that it's like it's prickly and attacking me. What is it? Mm-hmm. And then Axe is like, oh, it's okay. It's immediately attacked by these other red platelets. Must be fine.
Yeah.
More on that later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So then, back in
Marco's
life, he's like
not feeling good.
Going through something. He's like, I can't even make a joke about this. This sucks. I feel awful. I feel mad. He yells at his dad a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck this. I'm not dying in bed. I'm going back out. I'm going to get that camera again. He goes back to the same place he was at before.
With a steak now. A frozen steak.
He throws the steak at the dog so that it doesn't bite him again.
Uh-huh.
Then someone comes home. So then he's hiding in a closet. He's like, how am I going to get out of here?
But he grabs the camera. He does grab the camera this time.
But then he immediately starts morphing against the recommendation of everybody who's thought speeching to him saying, hey, please don't morph. We don't know what it's going to do to us.
Yeah, exactly. We could disappear into Z-space and that's it.
And
goodbye.
He just starts morphing anyway. He starts morphing into a roach.
Yeah, well, because he's panicking because
the dog doesn't eat him.
The dog was barking. People were coming into the bedroom, and they were about to check the closet. And he's like, "I'm just gonna go roach because I don't want to be found out." When really he could just jump out of the closet, leave the building, like jump out the window, go down the fire escape, and take off. What are they gonna do? Chase him down the street?
Yeah, I mean, grab the camera and run. I mean, I don't know why we're hiding in the closet, but then again, I don't really know the spatial parameters of this room. Maybe
that's true.
But for all intents and purposes, he starts morphing roach. Mm-hmm. Everybody inside starts panicking. There's this really confusing sort of climatic scene where the Helmacrons are shooting. They're trying to talk the Helmacrons down. That no one has any idea where they are in the anatomy of Marco's body, and then the Helmacrons shoot Marco's heart and stop it. But they're like, okay, so Marco's dead. Well, now we should just kill these Helmacrons. But then they don't. They're like, we'll still let you go. Which makes no sense because the whole time they've been saying to themselves,
they're going to tell the Yeerks.
We can't let them go. They're going to tell the Yeerks. Not to mention the Helmacrons the whole time have been like, you either bow to us or you die, and they keep shooting at them. So, I mean, we've killed people for far less in this series, but for whatever reason, the Helmacrons get a fucking freebie.
Yeah.
They make a deal with them. They're like, we'll take you back to the cube so you can power your ship and you can get out of here. You've already killed our friend. So the Helmacrons are like, fine, he's dead, whatever. They exit his body through, I don't know, so, they describe like the ridges on the belly of the roach.
Roaches have air holes on the side of their body that they can breathe through. So they walk through one of those holes. And they know Marco is a roach because Marco thought speaks to them after he's morphed and saying, I'm a roach. Sorry, it was an emergency. And they're like, okay. So at least Cassie has
They're
an
like,
idea
"All
of the
right."
anatomy. So they walk out, they're like, no, Marco. And
He looks dead.
they start pounding on his chest with their tiny fists to no avail.
Rachel's like a little upset, but she's not really that upset.
Yeah, oh,
she's like,
also,
let's just kill these guys.
there was more flirtationship in this book between Marco and Rachel, like at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
there's always been
what are
a
we
hint
doing
of a
here?
love triangle, but now there's like a real,
Like
now
a
there's a real
whisper.
thread of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a something.
Now there's a real thread of a love triangle here.
Well, I mean,
and so
really,
she's upset.
Really, it could be a diamond or a square because she's also attracted to Jake.
Oh boy.
The love story of our time, Gianni.
Oh dear. Moving
So anyway.
on. She's like moderately upset. She's like, Marco, he was funny.
Darn.
And then Cassie's the one who then has another biology or anatomy lesson here, and she says, no, cockroaches are really impossible to kill.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, he's dead, so
And she's
maybe
like,
it's just his last
Is
joke.
Is he?
And she's like, he might
Is
not
he?
be dead. So then they all start thought-speeching to him. They're like, Marco, wake up,
Get
wake
up, buddy.
wake up. And Rachel's like, I don't know what did it, but something did it. Meanwhile, we can know what did it. We've been jumping back into Marco's POV this whole book. I don't know why we can't go to the POV one more time just to be like, this is what Marco was thinking in the moments where he thought he died.
Even if it's just bits and pieces, or if he gets like a little taste of the afterlife and hears his friends calling him back, like, give us something. This is like an interesting little bit. How does he come back? And we don't get that. But that's something we can explore later on.
But so he comes back. He's like,
somehow they get out of the closet and leave.
They never address the person who was there, or who was
the dog,
looking, or the dog,
the camera again.
The Helmacrons immediately are like, well, no, he's alive. We were thwarted, and they just give up. I guess.
Yeah, that's it. It
never really gets mentioned. Doesn't even get mentioned how Marco gets them out of there. He just, like, I guess carries all of them, and then they go back.
I think he morphs Bird and carries them all on his talons because they realize, oh, we're not by the Helmacron ship, we're not by the blue box. Where the hell are we, Marco? And Marco's like, tee-hee, I'll never tell. But I got the camera. So he's like, hop onto my, I almost said hooves, not hooves, claws.
Hop onto my hooves.
Hop onto my hooves, my claws. And he flies them back to Cassie's barn, where they make a deal with the Helmacrons, and they're like, we'll power up your ship with the blue box, but you gotta leave us alone and never ever come back and not talk to the Yeerks about us.
And for whatever reason, they agree this time?
Which is so strange, because they were already suspicious of being double-crossed by them before. Why are they not suspicious now? Just because they went through Marco's body? Confusion. I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we not read, like, only a couple books ago when the Yeerks used Helmacron technology? Like,
yes.
It's not a stretch to assume that
they could work together,
or they could, theoretically work together. I don't understand how they just got over that. But they're like, and then the Helmacrons went away, and that happens off screen. And then the craziest reveal of all time.
Oh my God.
Rachel's like thinking to herself about these white blood platelet thing that she saw inside of Marco's body.
Yeah. Well,
And
actually, it was like little
school.
spiky things, because the white platelets were the white blood cells that were attacking the spiky
scientist
things.
Casey. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Actually, it's white spiky things.
Actually,
who gives a fuck? It's not like they know.
I was that kid in school where I was like, actually.
Blotting your pizza and saying, actually.
Listen, when my teacher, there was a lesson, I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade, my teacher was writing Britney Spears on the chalkboard, and she spelled her name with 2 T's. And I was like, actually, she spells it with 1 T. And my teacher was like, all right, and just erases 1 T with her finger on the board. And I was like, that's correct.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, it is Britney, bitch, you know, so you gotta make sure.
It is Britney, bitch.
Right.
That's
I don't
right.
fault you for that one.
Thank you.
But she's at school, she's thinking about this, she ends up seeing it, and in her studies, coincidentally, this thing about rabies, and realizes, oh my God, when Marco got bit by that dog, the dog had rabies and it gave it to Marco.
And Marco got it it started showing symptoms in less than 12 hours. That doesn't
Right.
happen with rabies.
No.
That's logically unsound. That's not
She's
what
like,
happens.
he was already going insane, and if he didn't morph and remorph, then he would have still had rabies.
But like also when you have rabies, if you're showing symptoms, it's too late. You're dead. You have to catch
Yeah.
it before you start showing symptoms, because then you still have a chance. But when you start showing symptoms, they can't cure you. You just have to die.
Does this not raise a ton of questions about the people that took this picture? Now I'm having
Yes.
all these questions. What's happening in that hellscape of a
Yeah.
house now?
They're not
There's a
vaccinating
dog
their
with
dog.
rabies just running around in
And the
their
family's
house?
fine with the dog having rabies around the family or the one
And
guy.
what were
that
they
lives
doing
there.
with
Who
that
knows?
picture? We'll never know. They burned the film and they never talk about it
Yeah.
again. So we have no idea what that person saw,
Nope.
what they might be telling other people. Just because they took a picture does not mean that person cannot then still also go just tell people what they saw
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they just let this go.
This was such
The
a
more we
ridiculous.
talk about it, the more frustrating this book gets, actually.
This was such a ridiculous point because I was like, you can't get a virus in your bloodstream and then start getting sick within an hour, because they're all still like morphing in Marco's body, and it hasn't been 2 hours yet. So
Right.
so realistically, the dog bit him, and then within an hour, he was feeling like he was having rabies.
Also, not for nothing, but I mean, now we're just nitpicking.
Yes,
but like,
yes.
he's moving around. Does that not change anything within his anatomy? He's moving a lot. He's
Yeah.
climbing a whole fire escape.
Yeah.
He's doing a whole bunch of physical activity. Does that change nothing within his internal
Yeah.
anatomy? I feel like even if
Actually,
he's just horizontal the whole
This
time.
this was actually a good point that I wanted to bring up. If we're gonna make this into an episode and we're gonna change the Marco subplot, I think what we should do instead is Marco starts having some anxiety and starts to have a panic attack about all these aliens floating through his bloodstream, and he doesn't know where they are or what's going on. When he starts having the panic attack, that makes his heart beat faster so they can find it quicker from the stomach, rather than being like, where is it? Because there was a point where they're like, we don't know which way to go because we don't know what direction the heart's in because we're just in blood.
Which also doesn't really make sense because blood goes to the heart. Like to
the heart and out from the heart.
You would know which direction.
Yeah.
Like, you just keep following it.
But they could be going the long way around. Like, they go down and then come back up and around.
Who cares?
No, that's bad. That's like getting on the subway.
What are we on a time crunch all of a sudden?
Yes, because
Like, what
they're
do
in
you mean?
morph. They're sharks.
Right, but you could just get out of the bloodstream at any time.
No, 'cause
no?
it's
they
in
just cut open a
veins.
vessel and it didn't do anything.
Yeah, but like once you're floating around, where do you go from there? How do you find a
Here's
vein
the
that's
thing.
going the right way?
They already cut open a blood vessel and nothing happened to Marco.
Yeah.
So in the world of this universe, you could just do that again, and nothing
Right, but
happens.
there are
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that, like, based on the rules as established in the text,
yes.
you could just do that again. So if they run out of time in the shark morph, okay, let's just cut open this and then go out, catch our breath, go back in. It doesn't
But you
matter.
have hundreds of veins in your body. Don't you have a ton of veins all over your body?
You're explaining science to me. I'm just telling you what's in the text. I'm just telling you that this is the rules as written.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make it make sense so we don't have to
It doesn't
logically.
make sense.
Yeah, but
It
like we can
doesn't.
try. We can attempt.
Casey, they're sharks. They are sharks swimming
Never had
in
sharks.
bloodstream. They're sharks.
Which the Yerks
There's
tried to give an
nothing-
ear
there's
canal
nothing
at
to
one
make
point.
sense
You're
of.
right.
There's nothing to make sense of.
But I want
There's
it to
sharks
work.
Swimming
I want
in
it to be
veins.
scientifically sound for the most part.
It's not. It just isn't.
We're gonna have to bring on Ryan, the biochemist. I know he's not a body like medical type person, but he's got to have a better idea than what we have to make this like the human centipede 100% medically accurate.
the human centipede of the Animorph series.
Yes.
Is the journey.
Yes.
No, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Look, I stand by my point from however many episodes ago when the Helmacrons first appeared. This shouldn't be adapted. The Helmacrons should not be in the Animorphs. The Helmacrons should not exist.
No.
It's fun that they do. This was a fun time. As I hope everybody has gleaned from listening to this episode, none of this makes any fucking sense.
No.
It doesn't really matter.
No. But this is fun.
So who cares? Like,
it's fun to think about.
If and when we ever adapt the Animorphs into a TV show, the Helmacrons should not be featured in a part of it at all. That just shouldn't happen because
I think they should give an honorable mention somewhere.
They only offer more questions than answers, and anything that does that should not be adapted. Period. End of story. Now,
can't we give a minuscule, like, just put their ship in
I
the
think
background or something?
There should be nods and Easter eggs. Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's
okay.
like totally
that's
fair and fine.
That's fine. Great.
Yeah, I think absolutely, but that's the limit, really. Now, if we have to,
yeah.
If there's
this
a big fan outcry,
yeah.
This is definitely the only story worth adapting because it's at least fun.
Yeah.
But I'd get rid of anything to do with bloodstreams. I'd get rid of anything to do... If it doesn't immediately cause Marco, like, internal hemorrhaging that he needs to go to the hospital for,
yeah,
then the whole thing just falls apart. So... I mean, you could do that. It could just become a thing where, like, Marco's got to get himself to the hospital or he's going to bleed out internally.
Yeah, he gets hit by a bus.
I think that's fine. Well, no, I meant like they're cutting open veins inside of his own body. Like, he's going to feel that in some way.
If he gets hit by a bus, that's a body trauma that they can be like, whoa, what's going on? And cause extra issues to give them more urgency to get out of the body.
Timeout. So in the adaptation that we're proposing for this book, you're now suggesting we go off script so far as to, hey, also Marco gets hit by a bus.
Listen, Gianni, I've never read a book series that had so many people get hit or almost hit by a bus as the Animorphs.
Right. I mean, yes, I hear you. If he's having internal bleeding, he can just go to the hospital.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to have any other... He doesn't have to have any other, majorly consequential event happen to him. I would get rid of everything to do with the camera, because I think it's only more confusing.
Yeah, we don't need that.
And I would get rid of pretty much everything to do with the Helmacrons finding the heart. They should just go to his brain.
Yeah.
And zap that bitch.
Yeah. Try
to kill him that way.
Give him a little nod to the Fantastic Voyage, where they exited, if anyone hasn't seen the Fantastic Voyage. They
mention it in this book, don't they?
Yes. So, for those who don't know, Fantastic Voyage is a 1970s movie about these scientists who shrink themselves to go inside this guy's body to destroy a blood clot with lasers or something. Something like that. And so... They are running out of time. There's a time limit on how long they can be shrunk, and they're running out of time, and they're still in his brain, and they're starting to grow, and they're like, we need to get out of here. So they go into his eye, into his tear ducts, and they get into a tear, and the tear falls out of the guy's eye, and then they grow into people, and it's like, yay, they didn't grow inside this guy's brain and kill him, and they saved him. Could do something like that, like a little nod.
Could just do that. It's not like any of the target audience has probably seen that film, so you could just do that.
It is it might be a 60s movie. It's an older movie, maybe 68, 71, something like that.
I would almost even prefer it's Cassie's idea that he morph into Roach, as opposed to it being the result of him being in some high stress situation where he's got to morph into something to get out of it.
Yeah.
I would almost prefer that Cassie just morph last second to be like, that'll be how we get out, because I know that I know the anatomy of a roach, and so far as I know that I can get out through the side of him, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, this is all semantic. None of this is getting adapted. You're never doing this. We're never touching the Helmacrons.
One day.
I think the Helmacrons should, if they pop up at all, it should be a passing joke that happens to like the stinger of a random episode that's like super dark and crazy.
Yeah.
And then you just have the Helmacron ship show up and start like shooting little lasers at somebody, and then they just swat them out of the sky,
Yes.
and that's the end of the Helmacrons.
Perfect.
That should be the only thing that the
Perfect.
Helmacrons ever get adapted into.
Love that idea.
But you know, if you're fans of the Animorphs and also fans of this show and really want the Helmacrons,
Yeah. Let us know.
that's the most I can give you. But really, you gotta get back in touch with yourself. If that's something that you're really steadfast on.
Yeah, get right with the
you
Lord.
Find the Helmacrons anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, get right with the Lord.
So if you're a big fan of the Helmacrons, you can shoot us an email at our email address, morphinbuddies@gmail.com. That's morphinbuddies at
GMAIL.com.
AI.
And
voice.
let's go to the next book, Mr. Gianni. Are you ready for this? This is gonna.
Okay.
Ooh, you're not gonna like
Is
this
it called
one.
The Test?
The Test.
All right. Yuck! What in the what is this? Ew!
What do you think that is, Gianni?
Ugh! What in the ew? Yuckaroony doony!
What is it?
Is it a taxon?
What is it?
Is it supposed to be a taxon?
Yes. Yeah,
That's
a
what they
taxon.
look like? Good lord.
Yeah. Great googly moogly, huh?
Oh my god. Well, it's Tobias turning into a taxon, but Tobias in bird form, and then they got human Tobias who's been recast, I guess.
Yeah, the kid looks completely
I don't know
different
who
from
the fuck this
previous
kid is,
Tobias.
some other boy.
Who the fuck is this?
He's blonde now? Yeah.
He's always been blonde in the books, but he hasn't been on the covers until now. So.
Yeah, so they finally, I guess, got a book-accurate Tobias to just stand in silhouette behind this horrifying, disgusting atrocity of a bird becoming a taxon. Ugh.
Yeah. Look at the eyes. Look at the third morph with the eyes and the beak with the teeth.
Here's the thing.
Oh,
none of the morphs look
glorious.
natural because you're inherently morphing into something unnatural, so it's just disgusting. The fucking lobster claws? Why did they have to do that?
Yeah. You don't like the lobster claws?
They didn't have to do that part of it. Come on. Yuck!
It's an alien. It's got to look like that.
I hate it. I don't like it at all.
Oh yeah, because you haven't seen
a
a picture of the Taxons yet.
No.
So you don't. You've had no idea what they look like.
Oh my god. This is so gross.
Yeah, they're gross. They're gross. They're big bloated bodies.
Yuck.
Icky.
Ew.
Giant gross centipedes. What's the tagline on this book?
It says Tobias is about to face his biggest fear.
Whoa.
I don't know what could
What's
be
that
more
about?
fearful than getting tortured for a whole 24 hours or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, you would think that would be called The Test.
Yeah. I don't even remember what that book was called now. It should have just been called The Torture, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I have to go through my notes, which are not very well organized unless I know exactly what book I'm talking about. But anyway, suffice it to say, no, it's not The Capture. Is it no, it's not that one.
Yeah, it's hard to refer back when all the names of the books are exactly the same.
Yeah, and they're all picked out of a hat except for like a few of them that are exactly what they are. I will figure out what book that is at some
All right.
point.
Well,
But
what do you think? What's your prediction here?
I don't know. It's about a test. Maybe his biggest fear is just that he's taking an exam. He's finally going back to school in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Why is he turning into a taxon? I hate that. That's all. I don't like it at all. No, I have no predictions for this. Other than I don't like it.
Listen, you need to play the old Animorphs computer game. It came on CD-ROM. It was like 1999 or 2000 when it came out.
The Illusion is the Tobias torture book, by the way. I figured that
Okay. Oh yeah, because he's pretending to be in Morph when he's not. Because the hawk is his
ranked
natural
26 on my list, on my regularly updated list so far.
All right.
just so you know.
form. All right.
It's 26 out of 48 right now, so
There we go. Not terrible. Could be worse.
middle of the road. I gotta figure out where I'm re-ranking this book, because in talking about it, I realized it's far less sensical than I even remembered it being.
And you wanted it to be, yeah.
Entertaining though it was, there's no way that I could
very
argue that it's above some of these other ones, but
yeah, fair point.
Regardless.
Fair point. So, the synopsis. Tobias, the other Animorphs, and Axe have seen things so bizarre that no sane person would ever believe their story. No one would believe that aliens have taken over the Earth and are in the process of infesting as many humans as possible. No one could believe the battles and missions and losses these 6 kids have had to deal with, and it's not over yet. Tobias has been captured by the same human controller that nearly tortured him to death once before.
You're kidding.
She claims that now she's part of the Yerk peace movement and that she just needs a favor. Tobias isn't sure what to believe, but he knows that if the Animorphs and Axe don't find him soon, what he believes won't matter anymore.
Oh my god, this boy's stay getting captured, dude. What a bust. What a bust. Oh my god, he's so weak.
He's just like, oh no, capture me. Oh no, I've been captured. Oh no.
I would bully him too. Oh my goodness gracious.
So captured. Oh no,
my
not
god.
Again.
Can't
Oops.
stand him.
Oops.
I'm sorry. I know you guys like Tobias, but
I love Tobias, but he is
all
he is
of
a
the
little
Tobias
repetitive
books are
now.
the same to me. Yeah, that sounds like a test in my patience is what it sounds like. The same Yerk that should have already been
Taylor.
executed for fumbling the bag on this? Like,
Well,
come on.
She might have been tortured more. She might have ended up like Rachel in the Megamorph book, where she's just in a wheelchair with no arms and no legs now.
Ugh, God.
Because it would be more cruel to leave her alive without any limbs than just killing her.
Boy, oh boy, what a nightmare.
What a nightmare.
Sounds like it's gonna be a blast. Why would you have to capture him again if you're part of the Yerk peace movement? Did you ever go and think of that?
He doesn't trust her. He's not going to trust her.
So she's got to kidnap him. That'll make him
No,
trust
she's
her.
like to talk to him. She's like, talk to me.
It literally used the word capture in the description.
Yeah.
That is not something that you do to someone you're trying to gain the trust and alliance of.
She saw him sitting on the ground, and then she takes a laundry basket and puts it over it and puts a heavy book on top so he can't get out.
Is she just doing that to every bird? Because it's not like she would know exactly which... She's just doing that to every bird she sees until she eventually finds one that thought speeches to her.
I forgot there's more than one bird that exists.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, no, this is... all right,
Tobias is the only bird that matters to me.
And
that's all I have to say about that. So, folks... Get help. So, folks, send us an email, or don't. We're happy that you're listening every other week. Or every week. I don't know if you're behind on episodes or not. Welcome. If you're new, get out of here if you don't want to listen to us. That's fine.
I don't think you need to advise them on that. How do I turn this off?
If you don't like us, you don't have to listen. That's okay. That's your choice. But we'd like it if you stick around, have some discussion with us.
Right.
Come hang out. We got a spot right on Gianni's lap for you to sit.
Right on old Snappleclaw's lap.
Yeah, Snappleclaws. We thought he was going to make an appearance at the Buddies.
He said he couldn't make it. He's got to prep gifts. He's got to prep Snapples.
He was very busy this year.
He's got shit to do. I mean, listen, it's Snappleclaws.
He's a busy boy.
It's not like he could just drop everything and come on the show. Maybe for a special
one day.
occasion, but
yeah, maybe for the last Buddies, perchance. We'll see.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say what could happen for the last Buddy Awards? We'll have to find out.
Wow, it's so crazy. All right, folks, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of Morphin Buddies.
Bye.